Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Back in Kerbal once again. I just ran an update. We're on version 1.5-ish, something like that now. And I don't know exactly what all the changes are. I didn't read the change log, but it's called Dressed for Success. And I believe it's mainly visual enhancements. I'm not sure. I also tried the whole CCAN modding stuff, and I tried to load a texture pack that I think will improve some visual elements without changing anything in physics. That's kind of important to me, as we don't mess with the physics. I want to play it as vanilla as possible, but I wanted Kerbin to have more clouds and whatnot. That said, I just downloaded the most updated version of Kerbal Space Program, and according to CCAN, the mod none of the cloud mods, which is the main thing I want clouds on planets. None of the cloud mods are capable of this new version, are compatible with this new version. So we may or may not see clouds when we get into space. We'll find out. Um, so what are we doing today? We're going to land on the moon. Now we're basically going to use that same lander that I did and that I made for my orbital rendezvous that we were experimenting with. So we're going to use that same lander to get to the moon and come back. But that'll probably be the last time that particular lander goes anywhere. I think for the Minmus stuff, I'm going to over-engineer a stay-in-space lander that I'll be able to use later for oh gosh, Duna and really anywhere else. So we're going to over-engineer a lander. Maybe in this episode, maybe this episode will just focus solely on the on landing on the moon and coming back. So let's go do that. Me exit out. We'll go into the VAB and we're going to open up our lander. I believe that was Rescue 1, Rescue 3. Here we go. We're going to load that, and then we're instantly going to rename this to Moonlander 1. All right. And then what we're going to do here is make some significant changes to the lander itself, because we don't need well, all right, we may have to recreate it from scratch, because I want to take science. I want to take more science stuff in here, and I don't need this module. I want to use the landing can. So you know what? Yeah, let's scrap the whole thing, and let's start one over with a lander, with a landing can. All right, so this is our new base. I'll fast forward through the building process and come back to you guys in a bit. All right, welcome back. I think we have a craft that will get to space now. So we are taking Valentina as our brave pilot, and Bob, this will be his first time going to space. The intention of this mission is to land on the moon. I hope you enjoyed the montage there. It's likely I'll need to do a support mission. It depends on how this main stage goes with the skipper. I might be able to use that for transmuner injection, or there might be another build montage where I build a puller, which is kind of my preferred method for getting things around systems. If you don't know what I mean by that, I'll show you what I mean by that. Before I do this, actually, I want to increase my monopropellant because there's going to be a lot of docking and whatnot happening with this lander in the future, so may as well have some more monoprop. I'm just gonna put 4 of these on. It might mean I need to move my antenna. In fact, I'm sure it will. Yeah. Oh, hey, what did I do? 3. Oops. There we go. 4. Alright, let's move the antenna though. Where should we put it? Where should we put it? Why not up here on the can? Alright, so I think we've got a nice powerful vessel here to get us into space, but we don't know yet. I aborted a launch a minute ago in spectacular fashion, so I'm going to try to do this with SRBs only at the start. And then kick in the skipper a little bit later to be a little more conservative on fuel. It was accelerating in my little test launch there way quicker than I actually wanted it to. So let's give it a shot. We are going to the moon. All new vehicle. So the lander work that I was doing before, really, I didn't end up using it. All right, Bob, Valentina, you guys ready? Valentina, count me down. All right. Cool. All right, the SRBs are good enough to get us off the pad, accelerating at a little over 1G. It's good. We'll just ride these as long as they'll ride, and then we'll fire the main engine. One of the things that I did in the quick montage there, you might have noticed, was I launched the whole thing, but using my old asparagus staging system, just to get a flight out away from the launch pad and land and get some science. I was just short of being able to unlock heavy rocketry. I had, I think, 81 science, and that was enabling me to get it over 90. So here we go. This is looking good. Coming up on 7,000. Still on SRBs. Uh-oh, rolling, rolling, rolling. Fins. We forgot fins just like last time. Let's put some flight control surfaces on here. And we've got a stabilizer, right? Yeah, we've got a stabilizer. So let's try that again. Started to pitch really badly. Let's go ahead and prep that at 100%. And get our launch. Probably need to add some strutting here. Maybe, I don't know. Between the SRBs and the lander itself. That's kind of a tenuous connection point here. And since I don't have fairings unlocked yet, that's the best I can do. I've actually never used fairings, so I look forward to that opportunity when I get it. I don't like the way those fins attach themselves canted like that. If this fails, I'll change that. Look at Bob, man, going to space the first time, having a good time. Oop, Valentina too. It's been a little bit for her since Jeb snuck on the ship last time for the moon mission. Alright, preparing to stage SRBs. Very nice. Good staging. Let's go ahead and start to roll to the 90. Oh, goodness, 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 goodness. Not liking it. Okay. We can choose to do a late gravity roll. So the gravity turn can be later. I'm also going to change the way these fins are oriented. Pushed over. I wonder if it's just it needs wants another reaction wheel. Let's try something here. No, that's not where it was failing. It was failing in the center stage. Let's just try a higher gravity turn. I think I messed up my staging just now screwing around with that stuff. Let's look at it. Yeah. I think this time we'll just see if we can maintain a vertical attitude here until the 20s, and then to start a a slow gravity turn, which will increase the likelihood that I will need to create a puller because I'm going to be using more and more fuel. It's my intention, by the way, to leave this in orbit. I think one of my next missions, I'm going to create a space station, either around Kerbal orbit or around Moon orbit, with a science processing lab, if I have that unlocked, and then I'll just do all my processing in space. I have a lot of science happening on this ship that I presently won't be able to bring back. So, in fact, I should probably know that. Should probably figure that plan out. But let's see how the launch vehicle goes, and then we'll figure that out. Okay, this is feeling better. Very thin atmosphere now. I'm going to start my gravity turn at 25,000, I think. We're losing speed. The skipper's actually not quite strong enough. Interesting. So we have too much weight. But, you know, we're still at 300 and we're leveling off, so maybe I can still make it work. Let's see. Let's get our gravity turn happening here. We're still moving up. About halfway to space here. Now we're accelerating again. That's good. I wonder if some skipper happening at sea level would help. Let's lean over. Looking strong now. And with this much thrust, we should be able to force ourselves into orbit. So we're looking at really, okay, only a 50,000 apoaps. That's interesting. I thought that'd be way higher than that. Let's keep forcing it higher. Lean that bad boy over now. Now we're really accelerating. Apoapsis of 60,000. I don't know if this is going to work though. I think I'm going to need another set of either SRBs or maybe some asparagus staged support liquid fuel boosters. Okay, we are in space and out of fuel. Let's see if we can get the lander into space, or into orbit on its own merit. If I'm able to, I'll leave it up here and then I'll send up a refueler. Well, I'll create and send a refueler. I like this lander. It's a good, compact, but sturdy solution. I might be able to make this happen. These little terriers getting the job done. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic here. What I like is that my apoapsis is counting up, right? If I were catching up to my apoapsis right now, I would not think I'm getting to orbit, but I'm confident here that I'm going to get to an orbit. And then we're going to get to practice our orbital rendezvous stuff that we were working on. So I'm going to build a puller, and that's coming up next. And then that's how we're going to get to the moon. And that puller will have a science module on it if I have that unlocked. Okay, let's stop right there. Looking pretty good. How much fuel do I have? Okay, we'll get closer here, and then we're going to circularize. Let's go ahead and point prograde there. Good job, Valentina. I didn't put lights on this thing. Crap. Okay, sorry. We're going to put lights on it. Alright, so I had intended to put lights on this thing, and now that I'm going to be doing orbital docking and whatnot, I definitely want lights on it. So let's do that real quickly. Go, got landing lights. Now let's do some more up here. Oh, I didn't realize I put on... Oh, okay. Well, I've got an antenna problem I need to fix anyway, so... Alright, we're going to try this again, but this time I think I'll do my gravity turn a little bit earlier. I had none of the instability at 25,000, so this time I'm going to try it at closer to 20. Closer to... Oh, crap. I fixed that staging on the pad last time, didn't I? Let's fix it in the VAB so that this launch vehicle works next time. Alright, launch, fire, detach, detach, fire, and then parachutes. Good. We're putting all of our learning through the test this time. All right, 20,000 meters, and we will begin our gravity turn. I see you, Monolith. I might drive over and see you after a while. Sooner or later I'll do a rover. Okay, fuel is set at 100%. Expect that we're going to lose a little bit of speed. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and fire it up now. Pick up some extra speed, since we know we're going to lose some. So we'll fire it about 50%, and then detach and full throttle. Still decelerating a bit. but I think we've got better overall velocity at this altitude than we did in our last launch. Turn our lights on because it's cool. Sweet landing lights, dude. Alright, should have started the gravity turn. Let's go ahead and do that. Still losing speed a little bit. That's okay. That's what happened last time. We're at 100% throttle here. Leveled off at 315 meters per second and then accelerating again. Apoapsis is currently 40,000. I think this is a better launch. I feel like at this point before, our apoapsis was only about 5 to 10,000 above what we were at this point, so I think we're doing well. Let's roll it over some more, gain some more horizontal velocity. I invite you to watch the channel this weekend. We're going to be racing the 12 hours at Bathurst, which if you watched the real world race this last weekend, it was a shocker. I mean, just such a good race. Great fights throughout. I mean, the lead was being traded with only 10 minutes to go. It was just brilliant. The final pass for the win at the elbow was just, I mean, legendary. That's a race that I'll remember for a long time. We've never won this race. We've won at Bathurst before in an endurance event, but in the V8 supercars. This will be the second time we've run the 12-hour, which is GT3 cars, if you're not aware. And we did well last year. We had 2 cars in the race, and we finished second and third, or second and fourth. I think second and third. So it was a good showing. But this time, I'm not sure if we're going to have 1 or 2 cars. It kind of depends on driver availability. There's still some questions on that. Oh, a little bit of wobble. Okay, but we're circularizing now, and yeah, we're doing way better this time. It's because we're still using the skipper at this point, and we are in space. Yeah, this is great. Thank you, skipper. Valentina's got it from here. Let's see how we're doing there. That's not as good. Let's pitch up a bit. Try to force a slightly higher apoapsis here. Still think we might make it here, though. A little bit worried about how quickly I'm coming up on the apoapsis. I think I leaned over a little bit too much. 19, 18. I think we might have just gone over the hump here. I think that's about to jump back to 19. Correct to the 90. Good. Okay, we're going to be in orbit. Pitch back down a little bit now. We've got some significant velocity built up. 1800. Let's go ahead and point prograde again. Circularize at orbit. Very nice. Very nice. We'll end up with around a 90,000 meter orbit here. Let's go ahead and put it at 100 even. And then we will launch a support mission with a puller. Wow, look at that. That is about as perfect an orbit as you can make. Okay. All right, so we have two choices. I can either bring up a puller, and that will give me... so I can bring up a puller or just begin a refuel station. For now, let's go to the Space Center. We'll leave that bad boy in space. And let's look at our available missions and see if any of them would support... Ooh, build an orbital station. What do you know? I think I've changed my mind as to the purpose of this episode. I think this episode might be about prepping to go to the moon. I'm going to check something real fast. Do I have presently the science module? I don't think I do. Experimental storage unit, but not the science module. Where's that at in... Oop, wrong button. Where's that at in the science, the tech tree here? Oh, where the heck is that thing? There is a module somewhere in here that enables you to do science on the go. I hope it's not that far away. I'm going to need it way earlier than that. Where the hell is it? That's killing me. There it is, Mobile Processing Lab. Ah, crap, it's at the 160 point. And I have a dependency. Okay. Well, I think... Alright. It doesn't mean I can't go ahead and go to the moon. It just means... All it means is that I can't bring back or I can't process in space. I think that I can send up a mission with a landing pod, you know, a descent module, and use scientists to bring all the data home. I think. I don't know. We're going to experiment with that stuff. Okay, actually, I need to go back to the... I need to go accept that mission to create a station. Ba-dum-dum. Build an orbital station around Kerbal. Docking port, generate power, support 5 Kerbals, maintain stability for 10 seconds, and no specific orbital requirements. Just needs to support 5 folks. Antenna, docking port, and generates power. Alright, let's do that. Back into the building montage. Back in a bit. All right. So welcome back. I think we've designed a station using the same launch platform. I think we can get it up there. The idea here is to hold 5 Kerbals. Oh, I didn't put... Hang on. We got to make sure we're satisfying our mission requirements first. Hang on. I put the majority of stuff on it, but I think we neglected to do a couple things. It needs an antenna. I mean, it'll have an antenna when we... it would have an antenna once we dock with it, but we need to put a native antenna on it. That'd be best. And we'll put it in the same spot as we did the other one on the lander. Just one of those right there. At least 5 Kerbals. So I'm taking with me 3, and I've got 2 in the ship that I'm going to dock with. So that's going to satisfy the 5. Maintain stability and put your station in orbit of Kerbal. So that last one is the one that I'm unsure about at the moment. All right. Oh, it needs to be able to generate power, and I didn't put any batteries on here. Okay. So why don't we... Where do we want to put that? Why don't we put some batteries on top of the dealios here. There we go. And let's litter some photovoltaic panels all around. A later iteration of this will have the collapsible panels. They're much more efficient, much better, but this iteration I think will be fine with that. So the design philosophy here is that I have two docking ports, one on either side. So this one's a bit of a thread the needle kind of thing. This one's a little more wide open. It'll be my prime docking port. Pullers will be able to dock here. I think I'll be able to do this moon mission without a puller, or maybe I'll use the station as a puller. I'm not sure yet. But what the idea here is, I've got 8 fuel tanks, so this is a refiller. I've got a place for people to go. Later on, I'll be able to attach a science module here when I'm able to. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll collect the science from the modules, dock, and then take this little booger home. Yeah, I think that'll work with scientists. So never tried it, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna go ahead and, do I want to strut this? If I strut it, can I undock it? I don't know. Let's put a little bit of arrow on here by covering these little boogers up. All right, let's try station 1 again. Parachute, yeah, command module, okay, no problem. Empty crew cabins, that's fine. Docking port attached wrong. What does that mean? This position is considered useless. I don't see how. Screw it. If you know what? Okay, I'll bite. Can I get onto the docking port alone? We're just gonna send it up. If I've only got one port for now, it's fine. This is a first station, so I just want to satisfy the mission requirements and get my folks to the moon. Let's see if it'll get off the ground. I didn't even look at staging. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, I got lucky. All right, let's see how she does. Don't let me down, Jeb. I'm actually relatively confident this is going to get there. I should have put lights all over this thing for docking purposes, but again, that's okay. I've got lights on the other ship. Go ahead and fire up the skipper in just a moment until I get to about 25% fuel remaining in these. This is a heavier load. Look at there. Alright, now we're really accelerating with the skipper at 100%. Alright, go skipper, go. Kind of like with the lander, we're going to take it up higher than usual before we do our roll. Just realized I don't have a stabilizer on here. That might have been a good idea. It's a good deal slower. All the way down to 250 and still decelerating. That's not good. It is no bueno. That's helping. Start forcing some horizontal velocity here. Apoapsis is up to 42. Okay, all right, we might be getting there. Okay, now the real question, actually that docking port being backwards might be super important here in a minute, because I need to take that capsule and flip it around to the other side. So let's find out if it really is backwards or screwed up when I get there. Apoapsis of 57, still got a good deal of skipper left. Let's point prograde here. Use that skipper for all she's worth. Okay, about to lose the skipper. So my orbit's going to be a bit high. That is okay though. Let's get this bad boy circularized. I launched myself as far away as possible from the lander, I guess. So if we end up having to redo this, we'll be smarter about that next time. Come on, periapsis. Give me a periapsis. I think we're over the hump. Getting there, getting there. Okay, let's go prograde again. And what we'll do is just put this into a higher orbit and have the lander come up to meet it. So maybe I'll put this at 200,000. Used about half of the fuel on the station to get up here. Staying perfectly on the 90, that's awesome. Apoapsis of 128, we're about to get a periapsis. We'll just put the apoapsis to 200. Okay, so it's 200 by 92 at the moment. Pretty good looking station here. Well, it's dark, but should have put some friggin' lights on it. That's alright. First version. Nearly there. $200 by 200, that's perfect. Alright, now the next thing to do will be to rendezvous, and actually, you know what, the next thing we're going to do, let's time accelerate around the planet real fast so I can have some light. Alright, what we're going to try to do real quickly is undock this little booger and dock it on the other side. If it is true that I've accidentally put this docking port on upside down, then we will need to fix that and do a second launch. Is anyone in here? No, he's in the landing can, so let me... Don't want to do a quick save or anything here in case I need to revert the mission. Transfer crew, transfer to that module. Okay, now let's decouple. Oh, and this is the part where I realize I didn't put any RCS thrusters on this thing. Okay, so we definitely need to revert. Alright. Well, we know that the launch will work. Let's fix a couple of things. I wish I had the round RCS. Ooh, this actually reminds me of something else I need to do, so I'm glad we're here. Redoing some stuff. Let's go ahead and put our lights on we were talking about. Let's put these down here. And then we'll do some more on the bottom. Figure my fuel station should also have RCS in reserves. Okay, so we got lights, we got RCS thrusters. Now I guess we just need to fix this docking port that it says is backwards. Does that mean that there's already a docking port up there? I guess I don't understand what it's trying to do. Oh, what did I just do? Well, it likes that. That makes no sense to me though, because that looks backwards. Oh, there we go. Now I got it. Alright, let's see if this will reattach itself in the way that it was. Excellent. Let's look here. Command module facing the wrong way, that's fine. Docking port attached wrong. Still says it's attached wrong. There we go. Docking port used as decoupler. Alright, let's make sure we got our people right. 1, 2, 3 people, including a pilot, a scientist, and an engineer. We're in good shape. Where's my antenna? How'd my antenna go away? I know I put it right here. Well, okay, we'll put it back on. Okay, I guess I feel okay about this. And let's get that bad boy back up there. I'll accelerate through the launch. No reason for you to watch it again. So hang tight. Enjoy the beats. Alright, as you can see here, we are circularizing our orbit right at the 200 mark again. Went a little bit over. It's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. I want it to be perfect, but it isn't, and that's okay. Lots of fuel remaining, so this is pretty successful. I think that I'll be able to refuel, and then with the rest, I'll be able to make my trip to the moon and back. But I think that's going to be the topic of the next episode. This is all about getting staged for that trip. And we'll do it without a puller. I think that there's going to be plenty in the lander itself to make the trip. (202), 2024. Okay, that's nearly perfect. It's 500 meters apart. All right, so before we're done here, what we're going to do is swap our lander around, and then I'm sorry, we're going to dock our lander as well as swap our escape pod around, or descent, our Soyuz capsule. That's what we're going to call it, the capsule. I need to save that as a sub-assembly for future missions. Send more of those up. Okay, so let's transfer Jebediah to that bad boy. Oops, I didn't get it done. Transfer to here. All right, now Jeb's over there. We should have a docking port there available to us. Let's turn on our lights. Very nice. Now, let's go ahead and decouple and pull away. Wrong one. What's the problem here? Okay, weird things are happening. I don't have a pilot or a computer on here, so I can't turn on SAS. Interesting. I don't understand what's happening. Alright, what we're going to do is focus on the capsule and try to rotate ourselves away. Okay, that was less than ideal. Don't know if that's just a bug or what. Okay. Let's relearn how to fly. Wow, it's really sensitive. I remember how to... There's some controls that I have totally forgotten here. Alright, H is forward. Let's reverse. Can't remember. Okay, chase camera, that's not a bad thing. Now, if I can just remember how to do height adjustments, I'll be in great shape. I'm obviously not remembering how to do this very well. Aha! There it is. How did I just do? Okay, need to turn off SAS now. I'm starting to remember. I screwed it all up. Alright, turn on SAS, stabilize. Alright, off with the RCS. Let's get pointed again. We're going to get there, I promise. Starting to remember though. Going the wrong direction. I think it's because I'm upside down. We're going to get it centered here and then rotate in. Alright, we'll kill our rates. Okay, null rates now. Whoop. Now we'll null. Okay, now RCS off. Get pointed. Alright, RCS on. Little jab. Get on there, get on there. Yay! Alright, docked. Well, that was a mess. I obviously do not remember how to do that stuff very well. But, look at there. We now have a space station. Awesome. I'm excited about that. Now, we're going to dock our lander over here and refuel it with what we've got here. Hoping that that's working. So, I know. Yeah, disable crossfeed. Okay, so this should work. Let's change over to our lander now. Switch to. That means we cannot anymore revert our station mission. Alright, so with our lander, we are going to adjust our orbit to catch up. This is really not great the way I'm positioned. I really want the station to be directly behind. And I can only fast forward so much. That is going to take a long time to catch up if I continue to do this. I think I'll just have to do the elliptical orbit and burn a little extra fuel. It's going 2096. It's going 22. It's only 200 meters per second difference. What's the distance? It's actually coming down relatively quickly. Okay, let's start thinking about an orbital node here. We'll swing it out wide. I know it's not the most efficient thing in the world, but it's what we're going to do. I'm just not very good at it yet. I've got a lot of learning still to do to get better. .6 kilometers, 2.1 kilometers. That ought to do. Okay, let's get oriented. All right, so T-minus 11. So let's be ready. Fuels, engines are already activated. Nighttime burn, 3, 2, 1, and throttle up. .60 meters per second worth of delta V to go. And no. How'd we do? Hey, we did okay. Let's turn on RCS and we'll try to fine tune a little bit. So relative speed's rather high. I need to bring that down when we come in. 300 meters per second, but that's not a bad intercept that we've got planned here. Let's go ahead and speed up time and start looking around. Swinging out high to 300,000 kilometer. Darn, I'm American. Orbit, and then we're going to getting pretty close. All right, how far are you? 30 kilometers. All right, hold point retrograde to target. Turn off RCS, please. We're closing quickly. So at about 15 kilometers, well, let's get an idea of the rates. Go. We'll just slow it down to 100 meters per second, and then we'll do another burn as we get closer. And it's coming down by itself too. That's awesome. Intersect still 0.7 at 85 meters per second delta. That's good. With about 2 kilometers to go, we will do another braking burn and get it down to maybe 20 kilometers per second, or 20 meters per second, excuse me. Getting really close. I'm loving it. This is is basically inserting ourselves in the exact same orbit. Awesome. All right. So what we're going to do is just point at it and switch over to RCS, turn off SAS, and let's give it a couple of little thrusts. 3 meters per second's good. Our lights are on, so we should be illuminating this thing as we get close. We'll control from the docking port. Right now we're kind of aiming down and away. I'd rather... Let's just keep letting it get in close and then we'll figure it out from there. Turn off RCS. What's our current intercept going to be? What was that done there? That's my prograde. So what I need to do is fire up here to correct. Okay, now we're flying straight and true. So let's turn into it and be ready with RCS to brake. And we're going to be getting sunrise relatively soon, so that's good. I mean, I've got lights, but this sort of thing's always a lot easier with sunlight. It's starting to come back to me. Let's start a little bit of braking and all these rates. Alright, just going to do a braking burn and then we'll orient for the final approach. Okay. We'll just null our rates here. And we'll point straight at it. And then I'm going to swap crafts and point the appropriate docking port straight at this one. Okay, swap over. And where's the other ship? Where's the other ship? Where is it? Okay, oh, there it is. Okay, RCS off, SAS off. Let's pivot. Okay, so now our two docking ports should be pretty much pointed straight at one another. We'll turn on SAS from this one and we'll control in from this one. So let's make sure we're controlling from here. And let's get in there. Alright, SAS off, RCS on, and slight jab. RCS off, get lined up. RCS on. Half a meter per second should be fine. We'll have a couple of adjustments to do along the way. Glad I put the lights on these things. They actually help a lot. They're draining battery right now, but they'll be fine once we get in the sun, which will be happening right about the time we dock. I'm glad we did those orbital rendezvous missions. They kind of retaught me some of the skills that I need for this. Now I'm remembering how to do it, and I'd forgotten that there was basically a whole nother set of attitude controls for RCS on the right side of the keyboard. I was trying to do everything with WASD and stuff, and I forgot about whatever it is, JK. I think it's JKIM. Or no, I don't know what it is. Maybe JKLI. Maybe that's what it is. Let's get situated here. Getting really close. All right, 1.5 meters per second is too fast. Slow that down. One of the things I learned a long time ago doing these maneuvers is that you don't dock with SAS on both of them. You know, turn it on your destination or whichever one's heaviest, and then have it off on the other one. Turn off ours. Once you get that magnetic clamp starting to engage, once they're interacting with one another, at that point you just let go and let it do its thing. Docking was a real pain to learn when I first did it, and it will be for you too if you're watching this for educational purposes. If you haven't yet played.
See how I'm turning RCS off and then adjusting the attitude. If you do that with RCS still engaged, then you have problems, and those problems come in the form of the RCS throwing you off course. So make your attitude corrections with just your reaction wheel, and then your directional corrections with RCS. So change directions with RCS, change your attitude, the way you're pointing, with RCS. Let's turn on SAS and get it in there close. That should be a perfect approach right there. 0.5 meters per second. Coming in nicely. Am I going to clear those nose cones though? Uh-oh. This might not work. See if I can thread this needle. Come on, get it, get it. Oh, goodness, what was that? Well, that was not successful. I think I lost that docking port. Yeah. Okay. Well, think about this for a minute. Well, that seemed really fragile, huh? Huh. That was interesting. I've never had that happen before. Never blown up a docking port at 0.5 meter per second before. Or ever, now that I think about it. That's really discouraging. Still got my docking port over here. I wonder if I had the docking port on upside down or something on the... No, because I had the... the command module attached fine. Why did that happen? Oh no, I still have a port there. I kind of just wish it was on a probe. All right, let's try again. Kind of wish I'd put a piece of scaffolding out here to connect with on both of these, but I didn't. So we'll try again, see if we can make it work. Ooh, out of control, out of control. There we go. All right, what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring it in crazy slow. All right, let's null our rate. Oh, wrong way. Okay, rate's nulled. Now let's reorient. And I'm going to beg your patience here because we are going to bring this in so slow. Point 2. So this will take a couple minutes. I mean, the idea here is maybe I just hit it too hard, too fast, given they're both pretty heavy machines. I mean, I built them both stocky on purpose. It makes them easier to launch, but I wasn't thinking ahead about both of them having these 4 sort of side pods that would clash with one another upon docking. So it might be that I need to launch another module for the space station to sort of extend out that docking port. You know, that might be a way of going about it. We'll see. I'm going to bring this in though. I'm going to get it to within about 10 meters and then I'm going to drop it down to 0.1 meters per second. You just can't go slower than that unless you're stopped. So we'll just try again and see if I'm able to get this to successfully stop. Tiny little adjustments. 0.2 meters per second. How are we doing on sunlight? We should be okay. We'll try it again here. Kind of wish I'd put a docking port on the bottom of the lander now so I could run them in series. But I think I was separating from there. I don't recall now. I think so. Yeah, that's where the skipper stage was attached. The anticipation. Will it work? Micro adjustments. Keep it at 2 meters or 0.2 meters per second. Can't even see. 36 meters. Okay. Getting there. Just playing it uber cautious after that last debacle. Oh, okay. I thought I was out of power on this one. But no, it's charging. Oh, no, it's not actually. The lights are using... Okay, let's turn off the lights here. Alright, let's adjust. So close. 28 meters.
Check it.
Oh, sorry, not a lot of commentary. I don't know what to talk about at this point because it's just a matter of getting docked. This is one of the most challenging parts of the game, especially if you're new again to it. I just haven't played this in a long time, and I used to be pretty solid at docking, and I know there's some guys that are just straight up ninjas at it. But I think I've got a design flaw I've got to work around here. I'm certain that I'm going to want to put some sort of extender on the station dock so that I can get in there better. But the only downside of that is that it's going to create a weak point structurally. So maybe it's just back to the whole that's the first iteration of a station, and I won't keep it after this mission. I don't know. We'll see. All right, 15 meters to go. Nearly there. I think I'm threading the needle about as well as I can. .1 meter per second. So we should be docked in a little under a minute, assuming I don't do a slow motion explosion again. It's just the slightest adjustments, man. Come on, baby, get in there. Get in there. Boy, you just can't go any slower than this, huh? Hey, got it. Look at that bad boy. Goodness. Oh, no, 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 no. So we're going to refill the lander here. Definitely got some wobble happening. I should check my space station mission, make sure that I got credit for it after I get done with all this. Alright, so let's check our fuel situation. Not full. Okay, so this pod's full, this pod's full, this pod's full, this pod's full. 364.40, 364.40, 364.40. Ooh, not full. Looks like I have siphoned off all the fuel and not quite refilled the lander. But I think there's plenty. Let's put all of it in the central tank so that I'm sure we're equally distributed. Improve center of gravity here a little bit. Okay, so I think we'll stop today's episode right there and say that we are ready to go to the moon with this lander. Let's ensure, yeah, it looks like we got our, I think we got our space station mission satisfied. Oops. Stop pushing buttons. Must be, yeah, it's down at the bottom here. Let's make sure. New orbital station, that's the one. Cool. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed, and we will talk to you next time. Fishhooks out.